picture this. You walk up to the security checkpoint feeling confident. You packed carefully. You followed all the rules. But then the agent waves you aside. Not for your bag. For you. Suddenly you are standing in a glass box while a stranger runs their hands down your sides. Your belongings are spread across a steel table. Everyone in line is watching, and you have no idea what you did wrong. This happens to thousands of travelers every single day. Not because they broke any rules, but because something about the way they packed, dressed, or moved made a computer think they might be a threat. Here is the reality of flying in 2026. The scanners are smarter than ever. The algorithms are more sensitive. And certain completely innocent habits are triggering extra screening at a rate we have never seen before. I am going to walk you through 10 things that make TSA think you are hiding something, even when you are not. Some of these are in your bag. Some are on your body. And one of them is something almost every traveler over 60 does without thinking twice. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to pack, dress, and move so that you glide through security while everyone else gets pulled aside. Let us keep you out of the glass box. Number 1. The electronics pile. Let us start with the mistake that causes the most bag searches by far. You probably think you are being organized when you put all your electronics together. Phone charger, laptop charger, tablet, portable battery, earbuds, maybe a Kindle. You bundle them up in one corner of your bag because it feels neat and tidy. To you, that is organization. To the scanner, that is a dense mass of wires, circuits, and lithium that looks exactly like a homemade explosive device. Here is what the CT scanner actually sees. It cannot distinguish between your harmless tangle of charging cables and something genuinely dangerous. All it registers is a concentrated block of metal and organic material with wires running through it in multiple directions. The algorithm flags it immediately without hesitation. What happens next is predictable and frustrating. The belt stops. Your bag gets pulled off the line. An agent has to open it completely, unpack everything piece by piece, lay it all out on the steel table, and run secondary tests on each item. This process takes 5 to 10 minutes minimum. If there is any residue on your electronics from hand lotion, certain cleaning products, or even some hand sanitizers, you might get flagged for additional chemical testing. Now you are watching the clock while your flight boards. The fix is counterintuitive but works every single time. Spread your electronics throughout the bag deliberately. Put the laptop charger in one pocket. Put the phone charger in another pocket entirely. Keep the tablet on the opposite side from the battery pack. Position your earbuds case away from other dense items. I know it feels messy and disorganized, but to the scanner, distributed electronics look like a normal everyday bag. Clustered electronics look like something that requires investigation. Some experienced travelers go even further with this strategy. They put each charger in its own small pouch or Ziploc bag. This creates visible air gaps between the dense items, which makes the X-ray image dramatically clearer. The agent can see exactly what everything is without needing to open the bag at all. Your belongings stay in your bag, and you stay on schedule. The verdict: spread it out deliberately. Never stack electronics together. Number 2. The wrapped gift trap. This one breaks hearts during the holidays, and I see it happen constantly. You spent an hour wrapping that beautiful present for your daughter or grandchild. You used the nice paper with the matching ribbon. You tied the bow just right. It looks perfect. And now a TSA agent is tearing it open right in front of you while you watch helplessly. Here is the brutal truth that gift givers need to understand. TSA scanners cannot see through wrapping paper clearly. The layers of paper, tape, ribbon, and decorative elements create visual noise on the scanner display. When the agent cannot identify what is inside a package with certainty, they have absolutely no choice but to open it manually. This is not about being mean or power tripping. It is about liability and security protocols. If an agent lets a wrapped box through without verifying the contents, and something happens on that flight, that agent loses their job and potentially faces criminal charges. So they open everything that they cannot clearly identify. Every single time. The horror story I hear most often involves grandparents flying to see family during Christmas or birthday celebrations. They arrive at security with a carry-on full of beautifully wrapped presents. Every single one gets unwrapped at the checkpoint. The wrapping paper is shredded into pieces. The carefully tied bows are destroyed. The surprise is completely ruined. And now grandma or grandpa has to somehow rewrap everything in the airport bathroom with supplies they do not have, while their flight is already boarding. The fix is simple but requires some advanced planning. Do not wrap gifts before you fly. Period. Bring the wrapping paper, tape, scissors, and ribbons separately in your checked luggage or buy them at your destination. Wrap when you arrive at the home of whoever you are visiting. The surprise stays intact and your security experience stays smooth. Alternatively, use gift bags instead of wrapping paper. Gift bags can be lifted open, contents inspected quickly, and closed again without destroying anything. The agent sees what is inside, confirms it is not a threat, and you are on your way with the gift bag looking exactly as it did before. If you absolutely must transport wrapped items and cannot use gift bags, put them in your checked luggage. Checked bags get scanned too, but if TSA needs to open them, they do it out of your sight and leave a note. At least you are not standing there watching your careful wrapping job get destroyed. The verdict: never carry unwrapped gifts. Wrap at your destination or use gift bags. Number 3. Medications in the wrong containers. This one affects seniors more than any other group, and almost everyone makes this mistake. You have a weekly pill organizer. It is incredibly convenient. You sorted all your medications into those little Monday through Sunday compartments so you do not have to think about dosing while traveling. You toss it in your bag and head to the airport feeling organized. Here is the problem that most travelers never consider. When pills are outside their original pharmacy bottles with the prescription labels, TSA has no way to verify what those medications actually are. They see a plastic container of mixed pills in various colors, shapes, and sizes. To a cautious security agent, that looks exactly like someone who might be transporting controlled substances illegally. Will they confiscate your blood pressure medication or your vitamins? Almost certainly not. But they will pull your bag for additional screening. They might ask you pointed questions about what each pill is. They might swab the pills for chemical residue testing. In some cases, they call for a supervisor to make a determination. All of this takes time and creates stress you do not need at the start of your trip. The bigger risk is actually on the other end of your trip if you are traveling internationally. If foreign customs officials see pills outside their labeled pharmacy bottles, you could face serious questions and delays. Some countries are extremely strict about medication importation. I have heard stories of travelers detained for hours because they could not prove their pills were legitimately prescribed. The fix for domestic travel is straightforward. Keep your pill organizer because it genuinely is convenient. But also bring the original pharmacy bottles for every medication in the organizer. You do not have to fill the bottles. They can be empty. Just keep them in your bag as proof that you have legitimate prescriptions for everything in the organizer. If anyone asks, you can show them the matching pill and the matching bottle with your name on the label. For international travel, take the extra precautions seriously. Keep everything in original pharmacy packaging with clear labels. Skip the pill organizer entirely for the travel days and sort your medications after you arrive. A bonus tip that has saved travelers from serious hassle. If you take controlled substances like certain pain medications, anxiety medications, or sleep medications, bring a copy of your prescription or a letter from your doctor. This documentation is rarely needed, but if questions arise, it ends the conversation immediately and definitively. The verdict: bring original bottles alongside pill organizers. For international trips, skip the organizer entirely. Number 4. Food that scans like explosives. We talked about spreadables like peanut butter and hummus in another video. But there is a whole category of solid foods that cause problems too, not because they are technically prohibited, but because they completely confuse the scanner algorithms. The list is longer than most people would ever guess. Dense fruitcake scans almost identically to plastic explosive. Certain types of layered chocolate, especially the fancy ones with multiple fillings, create confusing organic signatures that the machine cannot interpret. Vacuum-sealed meats look like dense, unidentifiable masses that require investigation. Even a wheel of aged cheese can trigger a secondary inspection because of its unusual density profile. Why does this happen? The scanner is programmed to look for specific density patterns that indicate potential threats. When food has an unusual density or layered internal structure, the algorithm cannot categorize it as definitely safe. Unknown means potential threat in security logic. Potential threat means automatic bag search. The most common offender I see regularly is homemade baked goods. Grandma makes her famous banana bread or zucchini bread for the grandkids. It is dense, moist, wrapped carefully in aluminum foil to keep it fresh. To the scanner, that combination looks like a suspicious organic substance deliberately wrapped in a metallic shield to hide its signature. Immediate flag. Bag pulled. Contents examined. Questions asked. The fix is to make food visible and immediately identifiable. If you are bringing baked goods, put them in a clear container rather than foil. Let the scanner see exactly what it is from the outside. For dense items like specialty cheese or artisan chocolate, put them in a separate bin like you would a laptop. The agent can see it clearly, recognize what it is, and wave it through without opening your bag. Even better for valuable or perishable food items, consider shipping them ahead of time. The food arrives at your destination without any hassle. It stays at proper temperature in insulated shipping, and you do not risk a curious agent deciding they need to run extensive tests on your expensive prosciutto or specialty cheese. The verdict: make food visible in clear containers. When in doubt, ship it ahead. Number 5. The toiletries explosion. Everyone knows the 311 rule by now. 3.4 ounces or less, in one quart-sized clear bag, one bag per passenger. But most people do not realize that how you pack your liquids matters just as much as the size of the individual containers. Here is what triggers extra screening every time. You grab a quart bag, stuff it with as many little bottles as you can physically fit, maybe squeeze in one more because there is technically still space, and zip it mostly closed. The bag is bulging at the seams. The bottles are pressed tightly against each other. Some might already be leaking slightly from the pressure. To the scanner, this overstuffed bag creates visual chaos on the screen. The liquids are compressed together so tightly that their signatures overlap. Containers are blocking the view of other containers. The machine cannot distinguish individual items or verify that each one is within the size limit. It flags the entire mess for manual inspection because it cannot determine compliance. What happens next is both unpleasant and time-consuming. The agent opens your bag. Your shampoo has leaked onto your hand cream from the pressure. Your contact solution bottle cracked under compression. They have to wipe everything down, run chemical tests on the residue, and individually check whether each container is actually compliant with the size limits. Meanwhile, you are watching your personal toiletries get handled by strangers while the line behind you grows. The fix is elegant in its simplicity. Pack your liquids bag loosely with intention. Do not stuff it to maximum capacity. If you cannot close the zipper easily with one hand, you have too much in the bag. Remove something. Arrange the bottles so they lay flat without overlapping. Leave a little air in the bag so the scanner can see through the gaps between containers. Consider upgrading to a TSA-approved hanging toiletries bag with individual clear compartments. Each item has its own visible space separated from the others. The scanner sees distinct individual containers rather than a compressed mass of unidentifiable liquid. Your bag moves through the checkpoint without stopping the belt. The verdict: pack liquids loosely with visible space between containers. Overstuffed equals opened every time. Number 6. Bulky clothing layers. In the old days, the standard travel advice was to dress comfortably for flights. Wear layers so you can adjust to the varying temperatures on planes and in airports. Bundle up if you tend to get cold. That advice is now actively working against you at security checkpoints. Modern body scanners operate by looking for anomalies in your silhouette compared to a baseline human form. Bulky sweaters, thick cardigans, oversized jackets, and multiple layers stacked on top of each other create lumps, folds, and unusual shapes that the scanner cannot see through or interpret. Each fold looks like something might potentially be hidden underneath. Each bulge is a question mark. I have watched countless travelers get flagged for full pat-downs because they wore a chunky cable-knit sweater through the scanner. The machine saw unusual density and bulk at their midsection that it could not explain. Automatic flag. 5 minutes of having their entire torso patted down methodically while everyone in the security area watches. Embarrassing, time-consuming, and completely avoidable. The fix requires rethinking your security checkpoint outfit. Simplify what you wear when walking through the scanner. A single fitted layer works best because it follows your natural body contours. If you get cold on planes, which many people do, put your sweater, cardigan, or jacket in your carry-on bag before you reach the checkpoint. You can put it all back on immediately after you clear security and head to your gate. Avoid anything with excessive pockets, flaps, zippers, or decorative elements. Military-style jackets with lots of pockets are a nightmare at security. Each pocket looks like a potential hiding spot that needs investigation. Cargo pants with bulging side pockets create the same problem on your lower body. The same principle applies to baggy clothing in general. Loose pants with lots of excess fabric, flowing maxi skirts, and wide-leg palazzo trousers all create visual confusion for the scanner. The machine cannot tell where your body ends and where the fabric bunching begins. Confusion means flags. Flags mean pat-downs. The verdict: wear fitted, simple, single-layer clothing through security. Put bulky layers in your bag until you clear the checkpoint. Number 7. Medical devices and implants that alarm. If you have a pacemaker, a hip replacement, knee replacements, spinal hardware, or any other implanted medical device, you need a clear strategy for security checkpoints. Going in without a plan guarantees delays and stress. These devices contain metal by necessity. They will trigger the scanner. This is not a failure of the system or something you are doing wrong. It is the system working exactly as designed to detect metal on human bodies. The question is not whether you will be flagged, but how you handle it when you are. Some travelers try to avoid the issue by requesting to go through the old-style metal detector instead of the full-body scanner. The problem with this approach is that metal detectors are actually even more sensitive to implants than the body scanners. You will definitely set off the metal detector with a hip replacement, and then you are getting a full pat-down anyway. The better approach is to use the body scanner confidently but be prepared to explain before you step inside. Tell the agent clearly and directly before you enter the scanner, I have a pacemaker, or I have bilateral hip replacements, or I have titanium rods in my spine. Whatever applies to you, state it plainly. They will note it in their mental awareness. When the scanner inevitably flags that location on your body, they already know exactly why. The resolution is usually a quick targeted pat of that specific area and you are done in under a minute. The key document to carry with you is a medical card or letter from your doctor listing your implants with specifics. Some device manufacturers provide official wallet cards specifically for this purpose. You show it to the agent before scanning, they note the information, and the entire process moves faster because there is no mystery to solve. For pacemakers specifically, you have the legal right to request a pat-down instead of going through the scanner if you are concerned about electromagnetic interference. This is rarely necessary with modern scanning equipment, but the option exists and agents must honor the request if you make it. The verdict: declare implants proactively before scanning. Carry documentation. Know your options and rights. Number 8. The laptop confusion. You know the old rule. Take your laptop out of the bag and put it in a separate bin. That has been standard procedure for years. But in 2026, the situation has become genuinely complicated and confusing. Some airports now have advanced CT scanners that allow you to leave laptops in your bag completely. Some airports do not have this technology yet. Some terminals within the exact same airport have mixed equipment depending on which checkpoint you use. You might fly out of one gate leaving your laptop safely in your bag, and return through another gate where an agent yells at you to take it out. This inconsistency causes delays constantly throughout the day at every major airport. People assume based on their last experience that they can leave the laptop in. They do not remove it. The bag gets flagged because this particular scanner requires removal. Now they have to step out of line, retrieve their bag, take the laptop out, send it through again and rescan everything. Meanwhile, everyone behind them in line is waiting and frustrated. The fix is to always be ready to remove your laptop regardless of what you did last time. Keep it in an easily accessible spot at the very top of your bag. not buried under your clothes or wedged in the middle of your belongings. When you approach the checkpoint, actively look for signs. Some lanes specifically say electronics can stay in bag or keep laptops in bag with this scanner. If you do not see that explicit sign posted, take the laptop out. Do not guess. For tablets, the rules vary even more by location. Some checkpoints want tablets removed and placed in separate bins. Some do not care about tablets at all. Some have size thresholds where larger tablets must come out but smaller ones can stay. When you are uncertain about the policy, take it out. The 30 seconds you spend removing a tablet is dramatically faster than the 3 to 5 minutes of rescanning if you guess wrong. One practical trick that helps enormously. Use a laptop sleeve that slides out of your bag easily with one smooth motion. The laptop comes out still protected in its sleeve, goes through the scanner in the bin, and slides right back into your bag on the other side. No fumbling with zippers, no awkward angles, no delays. The verdict: keep your laptop accessible at all times. When in doubt about the policy, take it out. Number 9. Large amounts of cash. There is no law against traveling with cash. You can bring as much money as you want on a domestic flight without declaring it. But large amounts of physical currency create problems at security checkpoints that most travelers do not anticipate. Cash is paper. Stacks of paper bills scan as dense organic material with a very specific signature. If you are carrying a thick envelope of bills or a money clip holding a substantial amount, the scanner sees a suspicious organic mass that it cannot immediately identify. Your bag gets pulled for inspection. An agent asks what is in the envelope. Now you are explaining to strangers in a crowded public area why you are carrying thousands of dollars in cash. For amounts over $10,000, you are legally required to declare the currency if you are crossing international borders. But even domestically, large visible cash amounts draw attention and questions. Agents may ask why you have it. They may call for additional screening or a supervisor. They cannot legally confiscate your money without demonstrating probable cause of criminal activity, but they can absolutely make your travel day uncomfortable and stressful. The fix depends on your specific situation. If you must travel with large cash amounts for legitimate reasons, distribute it throughout your belongings deliberately. Some in your wallet on your person. Some in your carry-on in different pockets. Some in your checked bag if you have one. Spreading the cash out reduces the visible density in any single location and avoids the triggering signature of a large concentrated stack. Better yet, consider modern alternatives to physical cash. Prepaid debit cards loaded with your travel funds work everywhere. Wire transfers to your destination bank can have money waiting when you arrive. Credit cards eliminate the need for large cash amounts in most situations. These electronic options create no physical signature at security checkpoints. If you do get questioned about cash you are carrying, stay calm and cooperative. You have every legal right to carry it. Simply explain clearly why you have it, whether it is for a major purchase, a gift for family, an emergency fund, or simply your personal preference for cash. Being cooperative and having a reasonable explanation ends the conversation faster than being defensive. The verdict: distribute large cash amounts across multiple locations, or use electronic alternatives. Thick, concentrated stacks trigger questions. Number 10. The behavior flags. This final one has nothing to do with what is in your bag or what you are wearing. It is entirely about how you act, and it catches more people than you might expect. TSA agents receive extensive training in behavioral detection techniques. They are watching travelers constantly for signs of nervousness, evasiveness, and unusual behavior patterns. You might pack absolutely perfectly and dress ideally and still get pulled for extra screening because something about your demeanor triggered professional concern. The behaviors that draw agent attention include consistently avoiding eye contact with officers, excessive visible sweating not explained by temperature, fidgeting constantly with your hands or belongings, looking repeatedly and nervously at security cameras, checking your phone obsessively every few seconds, appearing to study the checkpoint layout rather than just moving through it, sudden unexplained changes in direction or speed, talking to yourself audibly, and displaying what agents call inappropriate affect, meaning emotional responses that do not match the situation. Here is the frustrating reality. Most of these are things that nervous travelers do completely naturally without realizing it. You are stressed about making your flight on time. You are checking the clock or your phone constantly. You are looking around trying to figure out which security line is moving fastest. You might be talking yourself through your mental checklist. These are all innocent behaviors driven by normal travel anxiety. But to a trained observer following a behavioral checklist, these behaviors overlap significantly with how someone hiding something might act. The fix is simply awareness and intentionality. Take a deep breath before you reach the checkpoint. Have your documents ready and easily accessible so you are not fumbling and patting your pockets nervously. Make normal, relaxed eye contact with agents when they speak to you. Respond to questions in a calm, clear, measured voice. And this is critically important. Do not crack jokes about bombs, weapons, terrorism, or anything related to security. Not even obviously humorous ones. Not even to relieve your own tension. Those comments get flagged every single time without exception. Agents are required to take every such statement seriously regardless of obvious humorous intent. People have missed flights and faced fines for jokes. If you have legitimate clinical anxiety about flying, consider talking to your doctor about strategies for travel days. Some travelers take prescribed anti-anxiety medication specifically for the airport and flight experience. Others practice breathing exercises or grounding techniques while waiting in line. The goal is not necessarily to feel different internally, just to appear outwardly calm. The verdict: stay calm and measured. Make normal eye contact. Respond clearly. Never joke about security. The golden rules. Travel in 2026 requires a new level of awareness about how security systems actually work. The scanners are dramatically more sophisticated than they were even a few years ago. The detection algorithms are more sensitive to unusual patterns. And the margin for innocent error is smaller than it has ever been. Here is your quick reference guide for getting through security without extra screening every single time. Spread your electronics deliberately throughout your bag instead of stacking them together in one spot. Never carry wrapped gifts through security. Wrap at your destination or use gift bags that can be opened and closed. Keep medications in original pharmacy bottles or bring the bottles alongside your pill organizer as proof of prescription. Make food visible in clear containers so the scanner can identify it. Ship specialty items ahead when possible. Pack liquids loosely in your quart bag with visible airspace between bottles. Never overstuff. Wear simple, fitted, single-layer clothing through the scanner. Put bulky layers in your bag until you clear security. Declare medical implants proactively before you step into the scanner and carry documentation. Keep your laptop accessible and remove it from your bag unless signs explicitly say otherwise. Distribute large amounts of cash across multiple locations or use electronic payment alternatives. Stay calm, make eye contact, respond clearly, and never make jokes about security topics. The agents working security checkpoints are not trying to ruin your trip or exercise power over you. They are following systematic protocols designed to keep everyone safe. When you understand how those protocols work, you can work with the system instead of accidentally triggering it. You move through faster, you keep all your belongings, and you start your trip without the stress and embarrassment of getting pulled aside while everyone watches. If this guide helped you understand airport security better, hit that like button so other travelers can find it. Drop a comment telling me about a time you got extra screening and whether you now understand why it happened. And subscribe so you never miss another travel tip that keeps you moving smoothly through airports. Safe travels, and I will see you in the next video.